Good morning. Just move my blanket. Welcome. Good morning indeed. I'll just wait for you to arrive. Beautiful sunny day again. Looking forward to being with you. So if you just put a little thumbs up in the comment section if you're here, so I can connect with who's here, that'd be marvellous. Morning. Lovely to see you. Well, I can't see you, but I can feel your presence. So while we're waiting for other people to arrive, so just sort of finding comfy position and settling in for the bit of you time. Morning, Helena. Morning, Jeanette. So really sort of just allowing yourself fully this time. Yeah, lovely. So we'll just wait a little bit because I know there's some other people arriving. And so anybody else who's just arrived, if you could just put a little comment or a like in thumbs up, just so I know that you're here, that would be completely marvellous. Good morning, Anne. Yeah, I shall say this little bit a few times in the good morning, Sue, welcome. So a little few lines. I would love to live like a river flows, carried by the surprise of its own unfolding. So hopefully we're all going to feel our own flow by the end of this morning's little get-together, connection time. So anyone who's just arriving, welcome. Just pop a thumbs up or a comment just to let me know that you're here. That's really important that I acknowledge you and you feel connected with. So just a thumbs up or a little morning. Just going to move. It's a challenge to try and find where to put my my plan. So I've got it little clipped on the side of my computer so I can remember the important things that we want to discuss today. So welcome everybody, lovely. So we've got 8 of you, so just pop a thumbs up just to say that you're here. If you want to, you don't have to, just nice to connect with who's here. That's really nice. We'll just wait another few seconds and then we'll begin. How are you all today? Okay, so we'll begin and let others join as and when they are able. So I wanted to start a little bit today talking, the theme for today is around finding safety in uncertain times, and we're clearly living in very uncertain times, and it's got me to reflect on my training and learning around the nervous system and how a little bit of that understanding can help us steady ourselves at this time. So at the moment, we're in a lot of uncertainty and we're bombarded with an awful lot of cues for danger, like around the virus, around the media. And the impact of that on our nervous system. So after this video, I will be posting a few little things around the nervous system that you can read and have a look at if that helps you and interests you. Because basically we've got our fight flight when we're in fear, our fight flight freeze mode, and we've got our rest and digest part, the parasympathetic part of the nervous system. And when we're meditating, when we're doing like we did the touch last time, that activates that self-soothing, that deep healing part of helping us cope in these very, very uncertain times. So one of the ways, like Stephen Porges has done this stuff around the polyvagal theory, which I'm not going to go into, but what we need to know is around how like at the moment you can see my eyes, you can see the life in my eyes if you've got sight, you can see the facial expressions, you can hear the tone of my voice. These are the cues that if I'm shouting at you, your nervous system's going to respond in fear, in fight and flight. It's very unconscious, but it's very quick. And a lot of arguments are that neither one of us are co-regulated. We can't self-regulate, so we're not together, we're just in conflict. So what I want us to do is to practice today, looking at that felt understanding of how your nervous system is responding to the practices that we do. You might notice, the breathing calm down. You might notice you feeling more settled. You might notice some tension opens up and releases. So your experience will be that. So what I thought we'd start doing is a little bit of some work with a breathing practice, so a heart breathing practice. So we'll come back and talk a little bit about that in a minute, but we'll start with, so if you're happy to put your hand on your heart, because our heart has its own electromagnetic field, well, the whole body does, but the heart is very powerful. So if we can connect with that in our physical sense, that is going to go direct into our rest and digest part of our body. So let's have a go. So finding your comfortable position. Allowing the body to settle on the chair or the sofa or the bed. And taking some time to get your position right for you. So we're looking to be alert, not sleepy. So you may become relaxed, but the intention is to be present to whatever is here. So to find safety might mean that we acknowledge where it's not so pleasant, and we create a softness around that. So it's an intentionality, an attitude of accepting the moment exactly as it is without judging it or changing it. And what that does is it enables us naturally to relax, because we're not fighting it, we're not changing it, we're not efforting, we're not putting in too much effort, just enough to be alert and aware. So as we're breathing in, we notice that there's an opening and an expanding within the body of the breath. And as we breathe out, there's a natural letting go, releasing, softening. Even if we're still got a core tension, that ability to the breath to release and let go and soothe. Just knowing that there isn't a correct way, a right way to meditate. There is being with however that state is for you in each moment. So what we do in the meditation is we find a place of rest for the attention that helps the mind settle. So it may be that you are able to ride the waves of the breath. So following the whole of an in-breath in its own rhythm, and the whole of the out-breath as your foundation, your anchor. So try that one out for a few minutes and just following the whole of the breath, where it lands, where it expands, where it contracts. And if staying with the riding those waves is a little bit challenging and the mind needs something stronger, then find a different place to settle. You might, while you're trying to connect with the breath, you might feel a stronger sense of anchoring in the bottom as you're seated, or the feet, so that's more to the foreground and the breath is a little bit in the background, but you're still connecting with that rhythm. But the grounding, the stronger sense of holding for you might come from that feeling really grounded in the feet and the bottom. So it's a very light awareness, a very light attention on the breath. Knowing what you're doing is perfect. If you're wandering off and you're coming back, that's perfect. If you're irritated and a bit bored, that's perfect. So we're going to bring our awareness directly into the heart, into the center of the chest. And it can help, if you haven't, to put a hand on your chest. And the heart has amazing power and intelligence. It's got its own heart brain, its own neurons. It's 60 times larger than the brain. And 5,000 times more powerful in its electromagnetic field. Giving it some of your attention, some of your care. Now activating the emotions that live in there, that come and go, just like the clouds. That place of knowing. So we're just following the rise and the fall of the breath in the chest. And if you want to deepen your breath, like consciously, mostly in mindfulness, we let it be, but to really activate the qualities of the heart can be helped with that direct, deeper breathing into the heart. And if it helps to do what we call a sighing breath out, it can be very stabilizing and very balancing, very anchoring. Letting the shoulders drop away from the ears. Just noticing if you're trying too hard to get it right. There isn't a right. How does your heart feel? Might be tight, might be soft and open. See if you can feel that right through to the back of the body. And notice while you're holding your heart with your hand, if the tummy's tense and tight, and just see if you can soften the tummy. Allow the diaphragm just beneath the heart to move fully down into massaging all the organs on the in-breath. And relaxing back up on the out-breath. And the breathing becomes optimal breathing when all three diaphragms, we have one in our throat, one just beneath the heart, and one in our sitting area, in our pelvis. All of them work in harmony when the breathing is fully activated within our body. We don't have to work at this. Just release and let go. With each out breath. And just noticing if the sensations and the feelings arising within the heart area are able to be held lovingly in awareness. Or whether we feel we want to push some of it away. So we're just the observers of our experience, allowing it to fully integrate into our bodies without hard work. So, taking your hand away if you choose, and just letting all effort of attention go. And I'll finish with a poem. Well, I won't be finishing, we'll be doing another meditation, but just finishing this one. When the rhythms of the heart become hectic, time takes on the strain until it breaks. Then all the unattended stress falls in on the mind like an endless increasing weight. The light in the mind becomes dim. Things you could take in your stride before now become laboursome events of will. Weariness invades your spirit. Gravity begins falling inside you, dragging down every bone. The tide you never valued has gone out, and you are marooned on unsure ground. Something within you has closed down, and you cannot push yourself back to life. You have been forced to enter empty time. The desire that drove you has relinquished. There is nothing else to do now but rest, and patiently learn to receive the self you have forsaken for the race of days. At first your thinking will darken, and sadness take over like listless weather. The flow of unwept tears will frighten you. You have travelled too fast over false ground. Now your soul has come back to take you back. Take refuge in your senses. Open up to all the small miracles you rushed through. Become inclined to watch the way of rain when it falls slow and free. Imitate the habit of twilight, taking time to open the well of colour that fostered the brightness of day. Draw alongside the silence of stone until its calmness can claim you. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Stay clear of those vexed in spirit. Learn to linger around someone of ease who feels that you have all the time in the world. Gradually, you will return to yourself, having learnt a new respect for your heart and the joy that dwells far within slow time. So anyone who wants to, I'd love to have a little comment on how that was for you, or an emoji. Not getting any comments. I'm just checking whether you can hear me. If you can just check, just having this thought that I may have just done all that. Yay! And nobody might have heard me. But fortunately, you did. Brilliant. I think I might try and get it up on my phone just to see, because it's hard to see the messages on my thing. It just moves my thing. So let me just go into my phone. Ah, lovely. Okay, I can see it does go up. Thanks, Helena. Really grounding. Yeah, I think it's the thing around the nervous system is so crucial at this time, to know that these practices, along with what other things that you do that help you, are so important at this time, because the things that we actually gain our safety cues from, a predictability. So all the things that were predictable, maybe holidays, going out for meals, meeting up with friends, meeting at work, going to work, all normal cues of safety that were there are having to be done differently. Things are, and our nervous system is activated by that. So anything we can do to soothe and calm ourselves is absolutely crucial for ourselves. And the other thing around the nervous system is that we co-regulate. So a lot of our interactions with other people is how we co-regulate. By regulate, we mean feeling balanced and settled and calm. And we are hardwired for that. We're hardwired for social connection. But what we're experiencing a lot more of is solitude, because though that is also hardwired into us, that we need some of that. We can't just be social all the time, but we're getting an excess of solitude. So even people who like solitude are actually, having so much that they're feeling a little more unsteady. But if you're more hardwired for social interaction, social connection, then that's much bigger shock to the nervous system. So, does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do another practice now. We're going to do a loving kindness practice, and what that is offering friendliness, care to ourselves first, and then we'll be offering that to a friend, and then we're going to offer that to someone who we've got maybe a little irritation with, a little uneasiness, and then offer that to the bigger world, so to our global situation. So if you want to get back into feeling settled, finding that comfy position, and at any point you don't have to sit rigid or still. It's fine to move within a practice, but make that part of the practice. So if you are really uncomfortable, make the movement part of that practice. So you're moving, but you're moving mindfully, present, aware. So settling back into that sense of physical grounding, giving some attention, some light attention to the feet. Maybe do a quick body scan here, actually, up through the calves and the shins. Deep within the knees. And up through the long thigh bones and muscles. And feel the seated or laying of the bottom. So soft belly. And feeling with each in-breath the direction of travel of the breath is up through the spine. Maybe a slight sense of the spine moving up to the sky. And that sense that the shoulders just hang loose off the shoulders. And allowing the whole of the arms and the elbows and the wrists and the hands the breath to travel through and relax and release through the out breath. You might notice as you settle into the practice, the tummy might make a noise and rumble. That's okay. It just means that you're settling. And into the ribs and the solar plexus. And the chest, noticing the downward movement of the out breath and the upward movement of the in breath. Noticing the neck, the throat. So if there's tension and tightness, that's okay. The intention, the invitation to the muscles is to let go. If you can't let go, then just be with. Notice all the facial muscles. Allowing them all to just melt like butter. Tensions come and tensions go. Thoughts come, thoughts go. Feelings come, feelings go. So if it helps you, pop maybe a hand on your chest and your tummy to help. We're not just giving attention, we're giving caring, friendly appreciation, respect for ourselves. And just noticing how in this moment you're feeling. Can you welcome that? And if you can't, just being friendly on the edge of that feeling. So we're going to offer up some phrases, and it might feel a bit weird, or it might not if you've done it before. So the power of words has a massive impact on our physical state. So critical words affect us physically, affect our nervous system. But we're going to intentionally offer up kind words, and if we're not used to being kind to ourselves, it may feel odd, strange. And that's okay. We're still going to do it anyway. So what I'm going to do is offer up a phrase, and you silently say that inside to yourself. And if that phrase doesn't work for you, you just might find your own phrase that you offer up to yourself, something you need to hear. So something like, may I be well. And what we're doing is we're dropping the words like in a pond, like a little pebble, waiting for the ripple. Seeing if that word resonates. Being well. Even if our physical state is not well or we have issues. Offering that intention, that wish. So try that a couple of times for yourself. So we'll try another one. May I be happy. So we're not, the word might feel outside our body, and we're trying to bring that word and its energy, its feeling into the body. So just see if that's possible to bring that a little closer to the heart, to be felt. Wanting to be happy, an intention to allow happiness in small moments. Allowing that space between the words to let things settle, for the ripples to spread. And we'll try one more. May I feel connected. Some words have a bigger ripple than others. Some you barely notice. May I feel connected. And we're going to bring to mind a friend. So we don't spend too long worrying about that. You can always pick another friend another time. So the mind will want to say, oh, I should do that or that. We're just going to choose the first one that comes to mind. Imagine sitting with them, being with them. That sense of good connection. Really nourishing yourself with that sense of connectedness. Feeling it within the body. And we're going to offer them the same friendliness, the same good wishes that you can have for yourself. So may you be happy. May they be happy. May they be happy. And noticing any responding feelings or sensations that arise of resistance or connection. May they be well. So we're looking to nourish ourselves with that felt sense of connection. May they be happy. If you have a different phrase, put your own phrase So you're looking to activate that connection, intentionality. And then bring into mind somebody who there's a slight irritation with. Nothing too intense. And no matter what has arisen between you, you are opening up the possibility of a warm friendliness to them. May they be well. Notice any resistance, and that's okay. We're just opening up that loving kindness to all beings. So lightly dropping it in silently. May they be happy. Bringing the mind back if it's wandered off. That's part of the practice. May they feel connected. Staying anchored in the ground, your feet, bottom, back, soft shoulders, soft tongue, soft jaw. Then we're going to bring to mind all the people around where you live, and then we'll widen that out to however you do that in your mind. I like to imagine a map, a world picture, start going out to include the whole of humanity. So we'll start with our local, where we live. May you be well. I'm really feeling that friendly, compassionate wish, genuine wish, hope, connection. So we're not efforting, we're just watching and listening to how that impacts inside. Being patient and steady. Picturing when may they be well, may they be happy. May all beings be happy. Maybe picturing all the care workers, all the hospital staff, all the drivers, the shop assistants, or the schools still providing a service. May they be well and happy. Really noticing the ripples of this practice within your body. Your body will mirror back the impact of those words. May they be safe. May all things go well for them. So I'm going to end with another poem. And it's another one by John O'Donohue. It's been a day of John O'Donohue poems, and they were all from him today. So this one is called For the Senses. May the touch of your skin register the beauty of the otherness that surrounds you. May your listening be attuned to the deep silence where sound is honed to bring distance home. May the fragrance of a breathing meadow refresh your heart and remind you you are a child of the earth. And when you partake of food and drink, may your taste quicken to the gift and sweetness that flows from the earth. May your inner eye see through the surfaces and glean the real presence of everything that meets you. May your soul beautify that desire of your eyes, that you might glimpse the infinity that hides in the simple sights that seem worn to the usual eyes. So I hope that you feel safe and connected and a little less uneasy, and you can always come back and watch this again if you want to be nourished again. So yeah, please pop in the comments box anything that you are happy to say, how the session was, how the practice was. And if you have really enjoyed it, there is on the video when it's uploaded a share button, so feel free to share that with anyone that would benefit from this. But I really enjoyed hanging out with you, and I'll wait for some comments if there are going to be any that you want to share. Brilliant. That's great, Sue. Really pleased for you that you feel rested and replenished. Yeah, you're very welcome. I just allow a time because of the time lapse between me talking and any comments, so it's a little slower. Thank you very much. Feel very rested and peaceful. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. I'm glad you've enjoyed it, Helena. Ah, my lovely sister's on there. How lovely is that? Well, thank you. Yeah. Ah, feeling very still and peaceful. Brilliant. Brilliant. Excellent. Lovely to be with you. And if there's anything special that you'd like me to pay attention to and offer next week, then you can either private message me or pop a comment in here. But yeah, and I've just uploaded actually another video on my Sue Strong Wellbeing, which I really enjoyed doing. It was a very simple video about mindfulness. So for people who are not familiar with what it is, I used a car analogy. So I quite enjoyed that. I woke up inspired and I did a video. So yeah, brilliant. Lovely to be with you all. Look forward to next week. Do let me know what you want. Take good care. Stay safe.